Okay, so we're just going to show you from the very start, how to do the questionnaire design process. So you go onto your My Drive and you're drilling into Classroom and your Level 2 Stats folder. I'm going to then create a new document called a Google Doc. It's in the shared folder, so you will all see it. So if you're watching this video, you can then also see this in the shared resources. And I'm going to call this Journal or Report for Questionnaire Design. Now, what's our topic? Should we do employee satisfaction? And I'm going to put sample report. Now, what's the first step that's required? So if I go back and just find some stuff here, a journal, and it's got the purpose statement, research objectives, a list of questions, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to copy that and pop it in there as subheading so I know. Well, there's 3 things to really do. Do you think you know what you need to do now? Not yet. So here's what we do. We always start with a purpose statement, and you'll be given that, and it is 2. We come back down to our original exemplar, our first version. We're just going backwards and we're picking up the initial brief. There it is. So that's the employer one. So this was our purpose statement for job satisfaction one. So I'm just going to kind of want to edit it. Will I be able to edit it? I'll just go open with Google or copy. See what happens if we paste that in there. It's PDF. Okay, I'll just go and find the other. Quite annoying because of the format, but anyway, we're going to use this side. We'll use those research questions. The first thing is your broad research objective. So it is an employer wants to know about job satisfaction of his employees. So we'll just put that up as the overall research objective. And just put it in there. And then we can say research that we do. Research about the topic. And we go away to Google and we find out all about the topic. So you could say, no, we need to do it before we develop the purpose statement. We've actually got it there because we talked about it and we tapped into what could have been research. But what you'd actually do, and I'm going to write this up here, today, 24th the 2nd, I googled the topic and found out these things. Yeah, you can put hyperlinks in, and so people can find your research, or you can put the author's surname and in brackets put the hyperlink. At college level there are proper ways of referencing things, but at college levels if I can follow a link I'll be happy with that, and I'm not going to tax you with formal citation methods. Yeah, so I'm happy if you just put a link for me. Employees are satisfied at work when, and this is what you do, just whatever you find out. So if I hopped into Google now, what makes employees satisfied at work? How to make employees happy without a raise. 7 ways to keep your employees happy and working and keeping them productive. So let's just look at the second one down, because this one's very specific, but it's still the key things to keeping them happy. Keys to employee satisfaction. So we'll open a couple of links and have a look. These strange little sites. So the bad news, satisfaction's decline. Now this is very good to say that people are unhappy at work, because it can have detrimental effects. So you could even put this in, how many people are satisfied. So nearly half are dissatisfied in their jobs. Implications for falling satisfaction. So a generation of employees who feel entitled to employee satisfaction. It's decreased significantly in the past 20 years, as these figures indicate, and I predict employee satisfaction will get worse in the next few years. A combination of events is creating a perfect storm affecting employee satisfaction. A generation of employees who are a certain way, self-entitled, the newest baby boomers, they're aging, they were satisfied, so people are just generally less satisfied. What they can do, okay, so how to make them satisfied. 24 factors that are regularly thought to relate to employee satisfaction. Security, benefits, compensations. That's a nice little list. So I can say these make people happy. The next 5 are, okay. Factors not strongly connected to satisfaction. So in the third group, networking, career development. So we're just going to take the top ones, and we're going to come back to our journal and say from when. Okay, so employees are satisfied at work when these things are addressed, or when these things are right. And I'm just going to do this very quickly now. When they feel their job is secure, when they get benefits, when they're paid right, when they can use their skills and abilities and feel safe in the work environment. That's pretty cool, because that's exactly what we brainstormed, and we didn't actually look up any research. Okay, so that's really cool. And the next 5, so they're in order: their relationship with their immediate supervisor, their boss, management recognition of employee high performance, so when they do well, they want to be sort of patted on the back, communication between employees and senior management, and work itself, and autonomy and independence of their job. So what I wanted to do right now is just shrink that text down so it doesn't look too ugly, but I'm happy to put that all in there, as that this is what the study found. So I found these things. And I'm just going to get the link, and this is the one we had, so just going to copy the URL. I could even put it down the bottom today and found out these things, and I could even put in brackets from, and I'm just going to copy that website link. Okay, but so who is the sponsor for this questionnaire study? Yep. So part of the, that's a little bit of research about the topic. Now you did that, and so now we're going to do purpose statement, development. The sponsor is the employer. Do we want to choose one, or we're just going to leave it at that? The researcher is... Who's the researcher? Me. And the target audience, who's that going to be? Which ones? Employees of Ultimatia High School, of the certain said employer. Okay, what are the specific information needs? So how would the employer or sponsor use this information? Yep, we've done all this, so we'll go back and have a look what we wrote the first time. We said, so the main objective is to know about current job satisfaction, and we research what is job satisfaction. We've done that bit. We wanted to research hazards, pays and conditions, and safety, legislation, treating fairly, good relationships in the workplace, a little bit about workplace culture, so we could keep researching that and getting on as a team, so we could research more. Now, what they would do, and over here we've got a list from one of the classes, and over here put actions into place to make employers feel more satisfied, offer more pay, change conditions, physical, increase friendliness and morale, teamwork, the actual work training fit. So that's a pretty good thing to put in there right now. So we're just getting all this information and putting it in our report. We did it before, but we'd be doing it in our journal. It's a very ugly font and everything like that, so I'll just try and, I'm not sure why it's so ugly. That's how they would use it, and from that we developed specific research objectives as to what exactly we were going to want to find out from our questionnaire. So we know we want to ask employers how satisfied or unsatisfied they are, and now we know the areas, and this should also be determined from the research, which we'll pretend we've done, but it's kind of the same list, that they would offer more pay if required. Or would they offer more pay to everybody? Who would they offer it to? No, to valued employees. They might not even offer pay, but they might offer to look into their performance and their pay. They might offer to get a knuckle on with looking at their reviews and things like that if they're not doing it. Employees potentially make changes, which they could do more easily, increasing friendliness and things like that. So we put all the things they could do. Okay, and we could bullet point those in, but I'll do that later. So when you come to this document, it'll be a bit nicer looking. I'm just going to put the information in. And so we actually developed the research objectives before, and it's based on research or based on what we know. So we put those in there under a different heading, and they need to be in there. Now we can refine those. So these are our specific research objectives, and we're just going to put them in here. Okay. For some reason, they are numbered too. So that's a very big heading, and you could say you brainstormed those. I brainstormed the following research objectives after I did the Google research. Okay, so put them in there, and now you'll do what happens next. We actually ordered them in here as well for one of the groups. Why did we order them? Maybe, yeah. But also maybe how we were going to ask the questions in the order. Enjoy the job. So this is the order of asking the questions. So what I can put now is a new heading to say question development. And firstly, I reordered the research objectives. Let's have a look at that order list. Enjoy it, can do the work, like the position, get along with people, respect the boss, treated fair, and feel safe. Is there any particular order of those things? What does that order suggest? Yep. But why did I put, can you do your work, do you enjoy the job, before do you like the people you work with, do you feel safe? Is there a particular hierarchy of questions? Is there a sense of those questions? They should be easy. It should be straightforward for you to just, and not too hard to answer, because you either enjoy the work or you don't. And these ones here are a little bit more, you need to feel safe answering them, so perhaps they're down further for that way. So firstly, I reworded the research objectives from question areas that were easiest to answer, and in some ways more known, sort of like straightforward opinions, mainly related to the work, through to more sensitive question areas. Now, you don't have to write this. You can just say, here's the list, here's the questions. But if you're justifying how you went about developing the questions, you just write stuff like that. I won't go into it in great length because you're getting the idea now. So you're going to do a purpose statement where you're justifying how you started to write the questions, through to more sensitive areas that are personal or harder to answer for some people. So then I can say why and then I start writing some questions, or I can just then start, if I want good grades, I can say I started developing the specific questions in this way. What is it about work enjoyment that you want to know about? Do you enjoy the work that you do? Yep. So, question 1, enjoyment of your work. What are we going to use? A scale? Rating scale? From 1 to 5, or from, you can decide. You might then grid up the questions later on and say you did that. So then you can start writing the question. So here you might say the type of variable and measure. So the variable here is enjoyment, job satisfaction, or enjoyment of your work. And the measure is a scale or a figure from 1 to 5. And so on, and then you're going to actually write a question for each one. So you're just developing the actual questions, and you guys have all done this, you know how to do it. But this needs to be all written up in a certain way.
So these questions would be like the first survey.
Yeah, off your first survey. So you would write your purpose statement. Oh, did we write that? Oh, that's that there. So this is the purpose statement. And then we've got the main objective. We've put some research in about the topic with a link through here. And then we've got purpose statement development. So we've got the sponsor, the researcher, and the target audience. And how will the employer use this information? So that's part of developing it. I'll bullet point that. Okay, all these things. And then the specific research objectives, we listed them. So you can see the idea there. So I'll just leave that in there for you guys to go and look at. Would you like me to put achieve, merit, excellence stuff next to it, or some of the statements? Because there's more than achieve just in what we've done here. There's the thinking behind linking the ideas, bringing in the research. So there's a little taste of everything right there. And then you go away and start your first questionnaire. So you go away and write those questions, and then what do you think you do? Yeah, you say how you change things and you do your desk review. So you'd start another page off the student, you'd come back here and add to it. So what are some sections, what would look like here? So next sections of this report. I'm going to share this with you so you can use my sections. I would put changes to questions that I made. You don't have to make every single change, like spelling mistakes and that, just key changes that you think made the thing better and why. And the why is your merit. If you just made some changes and I can see the 2 questionnaires and you just want to say, I changed some of the scales, have a look, that's achieved. If you explain why you changed the scales, that's merit. If you justify why you change the scales and there's some insight in there and you understand how the data will be used and better decisions, quality decisions that the employer can make as a result, that's excellence right here. Right, when you talk about the changes that you made, you need, so that could be what you do. You need to show a desk review, and you might put in that table of points that I gave you the other day, that sheet. So you can copy that in and tick it, or you can hand it in to me or take a photo and actually send it in as a document to me. So do you guys know you can upload photos onto a Google document? So you can actually put that in as an insert to say I actually use this sheet, and that would give you evidence for your desk review. So you must have evidence in this thing or somewhere. So hand teacher a copy of the checklist filled out, or upload a photocopy or something, or upload a copy, or do it on a Google Doc. So you can copy and paste from the other Google Doc onto here. I think I've made it available to you, the check sheet. So you can go and get that and paste it in. I'll share one copy with you that you can edit, so you can take it. I might email it to you guys, so you've actually got a physical copy of it. Okay? So you must have desk review evidence, and then you would have pilot survey, and you would reflect on changes from that. Now that would be your second questionnaire goes in there, so I need to see some questionnaires happening in the background, but here's your discussion and justifying what you did. And then you can have a conclusion and talk about what your next steps would be, how the process went, and areas that you found interesting and specific, and what you learnt even, or what you would do differently. Smart stuff. So what I'm suggesting is you guys do this for your survey. If you think, well, you've just done it all for us, you can do the serial one today. And I want to collect it all in and see evidence from you guys, and then we'll let you go free and do your actual assessment once we've done that. Once you've done this and given me 2 sample questionnaires back, your own sample journal. How does that sound?
Great.
Yep, so 2 versions. Yes, yes. Well, we talked about doing the assessment next week, didn't we? So let's have a chat about that. I'll off this video, off it, and then we'll talk about that.